it's kind of Little Mermaid era, or if this would be like modern day. Honestly, probably not modern day, because that just gets sad when you're talking about ocean environments. What does she want? Ooh. Ooh, okay, alright. What if... that would be a little bit weird. I'm thinking, like, what if there is a... That's very ironic for a mermaid character, I guess, but, like, what if there is a type of creature that she's, like, heard stories about that she really wants to go and find? Because my brain immediately was like, what if she's heard about, like, narwhals in the same way that we hear about unicorns? It's the thing that she wants Australians to stop dumping their beer bottles in the ocean. I mean, I'm sure that'll come into it at some point. Yeah, what if it's like she's heard of some big magical thing that she wants to go and find. And narwhals is kind of funny because they live like in like glacial areas, so that would make sense why she hadn't seen it before. I don't know if I necessarily know enough about narwhals to write a character that is so invested in them. Ooh. Okay. Alternatively... Okay, alright. So, what if she is a... What if she is really obsessed with the Kraken? In the way that, like, humans get obsessed with celebrities? And she just wants to do enough cool stuff to be able to, like, be high enough of a celebrity to be friends with the Kraken. Okay. Kraken tracking department is active. Alright, great. Has heard legend of the might and mystique of the Kraken, and desperately wants to be cool enough that they can be friends. I'm gonna say not necessarily... Wait, hold on. Doesn't necessarily want to be a monster as well. I.e. wreck ships. Though it's not off the table. I'll say that much. But could also become friends through popularity and esteem. Like that kind of thing where it's like, I really want to meet a celebrity. Like, say that you wanted to be friends with Taylor Swift, right? We'll throw that out there. Say you wanted to be friends with Taylor Swift. You could go about that by doing the same thing that she does, making really cool music, so that you also become a really popular musician and you get to maybe make cool music with her. Or by just becoming a celebrity in your own right, becoming an amazing wrestler, I don't know, and then just being in a high enough status that you're able to hang out in that, like, circle of people. I feel like that works. Oh, amazing. Great. So we got this little squish mermaid that is desperate to be best friends with the Kraken. Has a parasocial relationship with the Kraken. Become a stalker, please don't. Yeah, we're not gonna go down that route. Absolutely. Sure, there may be more than those two options, but those are our two that we're aiming for with this character. We don't have a name. And I'm becoming, is it gonna tell us to make a name? I don't think so, is it? No. Okay. We need a name. What about... I'm trying. If you see me mouthing things to myself, it's because I'm testing out a lot of names in an Australian accent. Currently using Orchid? Ooh. Orchid is a very nice name. I feel like it's a little bit of a weird name for a mermaid to have. I don't know if she's necessarily seen orchids before. But let's have a look, actually. Again, apologies for being on my phone so much in this stream. But, let's see. What was our last... Oh, our last character was called Coral, that's right. Underwater flowers. Corals, kelp, lotus. Orchids are tropical flowers. It's like humans called coral. True. I don't know. Orchid feels like a little bit of a weird name to say in an Australian accent. Just a little bit. Orchid? I don't know. The or seems a little weird. I'm kind of thinking, Layla. It's awkward to say, exactly. Layla might be alright. Layla? Because I'm thinking of Lorelei, because that's like the is it French? There's a fairy tale about a woman that turns into sea foam that I think is Lorelei. And so maybe Layla? Yeah. Let's go with that. Name. I'm gonna do that version of Layla, I think. We'll go with that. That works. Layla and the Kraken. Good. Off to a rousing start. Alright. What are the next steps? What do they look like? What are their hopes and dreams? Anything else that you would like to include? I think that's most of what we want. Oh, I'll include, grew up around Australia, Indo-Pacific region. Maybe she grew up maybe in Great Barrier Reef? Maybe? Maybe. We'll put that down as a solid maybe. Great. That's that one. Next. With that finished, answer these questions. What is the reason for you to leave the coral reef you've called home your entire life? Okay, great. Yes, we're from the Great Barrier Reef. Yes, I can get rid of this maybes. There we go. Reason for leaving. Making it big enough to be BFFs with the Kraken. We've also got to, like, go and find the Kraken, right? There's a massive fight going on. Oh, no! Oh, dang. Oh, that sucks. I hope you're alright. No need to apologize for if you've got stuff going on. Jeez. We've got to... So we have to not only try and make friends with the Kraken. Okay, good. But we do also have to go and find the Kraken, because I think the Kraken is from... Well, the Kraken is from, like, European folklore, I'm pretty sure? It's like, I mean, it's general, like, sailor folklore, but I'm pretty sure it's, like, European origin. And then... So, we've got to get from wherever we are, basically around the world, to, at the very least, the Atlantic Ocean, I would say, to be able to find the Kraken. So that's part of the mission in itself. Who do you leave behind, and what do you hope to discover on your journey? Ooh, okay. Left behind. Who do we leave behind? I think it's almost like, the same vibe of, like, someone going off to college or going off to university. I feel like, probably, Layla's parents, were her main guardians, who will not be joining with her. Who else do we leave behind? Ooh. Oh, that could be cool. Maybe we're not, like, I need to just keep this tab active on my phone. I should stop closing it. Lionfish, I'm looking up what types of animal coexist. Yes, that'll help. Google will understand. I'm trying to look if there are any fish that hang out with lionfish, but lionfish are largely predatorial, and will eat a lot of other things. Interactions. Interesting. Okay. Lionfish are loners. Yeah, it seems like it. So I feel like maybe we don't have any major friends. I think, no major friends left behind. Are like, you're 18, out on your own now. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like Layla, especially if you're a mermaid that is like idolizing the Kraken. Maybe Layla's got a bit of a bad streak. Maybe she's a little bit of a problem child. No major friends left behind. doesn't mix great with others. Oh, actually, I'm gonna say that she's a little bit of an accidental bully. I don't need you. I'm gonna be besties with the Kraken. Just you watch me. I think I'm gonna say that she's a bit of an accidental bully. And that idea of like, I feel like I was kind of this person a little bit in high school, but like people that are very focused on a goal, and so they are unintentionally like brush people off in a somewhat harsh way, or they like accidentally they just don't have like make an effort to connect with people as much. Yeah, so I'm gonna say that she has a reputation as an accidental bully. Yeah. But I do like the idea that, in terms of, what's the next thing? Who do you leave behind? What do you hope to discover? So, I like the idea that Layla has a bunch of, like, pen pals of, like, other mermaids around the world that send each other, like, messages in bottles. That she's hoping to meet up. Like, she has the equivalent of internet friends for a mermaid, I guess. So hoping to unite or to meet her other pen pal mermaid friends in person while traveling around the world. Because she's got to get all the way over to the other side of the world, pretty much. So that's one thing that she's hoping to discover along the way. And then anything else? Hope to discover anything else. Yeah. Give her a little bit of niceness. And ooh, I'm trying to think of like what other things would a mermaid be curious to see that won't be super sad? What kind of underwater stuff? I'm gonna say I think she wants to meet a real life pirate. At least once. I think she's got a little bit of an Ariel moment, I think, where, like, she's heard so many stories about the Kraken tearing all these boats apart and drowning sailors. And so I think she wants to meet, like, an old school golden age of piracy pirate at some point, just to see what all the fuss is about. And why they are so shitty. Such shitty people that they need to be smoked by the Kraken so often. I think she is a almost like a professional curiosity about pirates. Yeah, I like that. Ooh, actually, really wants her own sword. There's one thing. Wants to be a real life pirate and really wants her own sword. Super jealous of swordfish. Wishes that she had her own sword. Love that. Okay, great. Wonderful. Go. I think that's all for the Fool. Excellent. That's all of our setup information for our mermaid adventure. So, our mermaid. We all need a sword. Exactly. Nailed it. So, our mermaid is called Layla. She is a magenta and white striped lionfish themed mermaid with a lot of frills of spikes, very flowy magenta-ish hair, white scale freckles all over, big round eyes with golden irises, but she's a little squish of a mermaid. She's just a little, squish. Grew up around Australia, probably in the Great Barrier Reef. Has heard legend of the might and mystique of the Kraken and desperately wants to be cool enough that they can be friends. Doesn't necessarily want to be a monster as well, though it's not off the table, but could also become friends through popularity and esteem. Hey Andromeda, welcome in! I'm just doing a quick recap of our details for our mermaid character that we are playing as this evening with the Siren's Calling. Our mermaid, Layla, her reason for leaving her home in Great Barrier Reef is that she desperately wants to make it big enough to be BFFs with the Kraken. And the people that she is leaving behind, she's leaving both her parents behind, who were her main guardians and will not be joining her for the adventure. She doesn't leave any major friends behind at the Great Barrier Reef because she's a little bit of an accidental bully. She's very focused on what she wants to be doing, and didn't really make a ton of friends. But she is hoping to discover in her travels, she is hoping to visit a number of her pen pal friends that she does have, other mermaids that live around the world that she is hoping to meet in person, that send each other adorable little messages in bottles. Really wants to meet a real-life pirate at least once. She's heard a lot about them, and namely about the Kraken destroying them, and so she's super curious. And really, really wants her own sword at some point. The Merms are all part of the Kraken fan club. Ah! Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I love that. All part of the Kraken fan club. Love that. Sweet. Yes, fellow Kraken, fellow Kraken nerds. Love that. I'm also realizing that, my subtitles do not know how to subtitle Kraken. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I just have to make sure that I'm really pronouncing that word correctly. Great. So, that is our first card. The Fool, done and dusted. I will put this back in my hand. Now let us draw our first card and see what the next adventure will be. The Kraken Fanatician? Kraken Fanatics? I don't know. We can work on it. Ooh. The Emperor. Okay. That is 4. The Emperor. What do we get for the Emperor? Ooh. It's true. On your journey, you come across a headstrong turtle who needs your help, though he refuses to admit it. What does he need help with? Okay, we need to roll our dice because I forgot to put them in upside down, or I forgot to do the not inverted version. So if we get an odd, it's reversed. If we get evens, it's still upright. So that is odd. So it is reversed. The sea turtle is clearly stuck and doesn't want your help. With a tisk and a flick of your tail, you leave him to his struggles. It may be petty, but you can't help someone who doesn't want it. Oh boy. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Turtles. I'm trying to think of which way we're going around the world. Probably... Probably going around the world through the Pacific, I would imagine. Which would make sense because it's the bigger ocean for a mermaid to go through. Alright. So, this is our first entry. The Emperor. And... obstinate turtle. Okay, so I think as well, now that we've got that little bit of extra character flavor, I kind of like the idea that the journal in that case is like Layla like writing entries as if she's writing letters back to her friends, because obviously if you're moving out of home, then you're not going to be able to keep up your pen pal communications. So I like the idea that this is like her writing down all the stuff that she would have sent them letters about, but can't right now. So she's just compiling it all for later. Okay. Alright. Now we gotta get into journaling mode. Alright. Okay. I'm trying to think of, like, what you would write. What is a cute, like, greeting to come out of being obsessed with Krakens? Or even a goodbye, I guess. Like, how would you open those letters that you're sending to your friends? How, like, begin it. I don't just want to start it with G'day just because she's Australian. I feel like we could do better than that. What do people say? What do they say? It's like a... Oh, it's a... yeah. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, alright. I'm not gonna come up with something better than that. Let's get the journey of Kraken. Hold on. I'm gonna do this in... Journey of Kraken. Nice. Finally the day. Said so long, Mum and Dad, and I'm setting off for the open seas. Can't believe don't get to write to you all to you every day, all the time anymore, but I'm taking proper good notes so we can share stories when we catch up in person. Eee! So exciting! This is a lot more wholesome than the Lighthouse one. So exciting. OMG lol, like wow, yeah. Okay. The water's warm. And clear. Oh, the water's been warm. Clear all day. Such a good sign. Such a good sign, I reckon. Had a chance. Haven't had a chance to meet many new faces. This one guy. Look out, the turtle and the caster. Oh no! Oh my god! No, that's such a good idea though. Okay, because this is the thing. The turtle is clearly stuck and doesn't want our help. And yes, I agree, this turtle is absolutely a caster. What if it is a... Because we're already playing a mermaid. What if it's like a wizard that turned himself into a turtle and can't turn back? And that's why he's just like, forget it, you can't help me. Go away. Except for this one guy who was so rude. I'm pretty sure you have turtles in your ocean. In your oceans. And usually, they're the nicest folks around. But this one turtle was an absolute grump. Didn't even get a chance to catch his name. Before he was what is the word for this? I read a meme somewhere where a frog used a petrified worm as a staff for nefarious magic. Ooh! That's cool. Waved, right. Waving. That's what this is. Sorry, my brain just broke for a second there. Before he was waving me off, didn't even get a chance to catch his name before he was waving me off. Where he was waving me off, he had this huge glowing stick in his hands. In his stick with him. Had this huge glowing stick with him. And when I asked what it was, he got even grumpier. I don't think it was a sword. But if it was, I'm sure I'll find another one. If it was, I'm sure I'll find another one. Yeah, that fits our description. Sea turtle clearly stuck, doesn't want your help. Leave him to his struggles. It may be pity, but you can't help someone who doesn't want it. Yep. I'm sure he'll find another one. Hopefully there's nicer people, nicer sea folk along the way than that. But I'm sure I can handle it. Regardless. No. That's it. Tough as tentacles we are. Oh, I'm already so happy with this. Okay, tough as tentacles we are. There we go. See you soon, Layla. Oh, all the ocean puns. Yay. Okay, great. Alright. This is our first entry in our book as Layla for the Emperor card. Let's get the journey of Kraken. Today's finally the day. Said so long to Mum and Dad, and I'm setting off for the open seas. Can't believe I don't get to write to you all the time anymore, but I'm taking proper good notes so that we can share stories when we catch up in person. Oh, so exciting! The water's been warm and clear all day. Such a good sign, I reckon. I haven't had a chance to meet many new faces, except for this one guy who was so rude. I'm pretty sure you have turtles in your oceans, and usually they're the nicest folks around. But this one turtle was an absolute grump. Didn't even get a chance to catch his name before he was waving me off. He had this huge glowing stick, and when I asked what it was, he got even grumpier. I don't think it was a sword, but if it was, I'm sure I'll find another one. Hopefully there's nicer sea folk along the way than that, but I'm sure I can handle it regardless. Tough as tentacles we are. See you soon, Layla. This is such a vibe shift from last stream. I love it. Ah, wonderful. Oh, this is great. Excellent. Such a change, such an absolute shift. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Sorry, I'm just gonna make sure that I've got some more pages lined up. Coming down the line. Okay, great. Alrighty. Beautiful. Love it. I love her already. Also love the accent. Thanks. Listen, I've got to differentiate these characters somehow. Making her Australian was an easy call. Alright. Excellent. So that is our Emperor. I'm going to slide that over here so that you all don't have to worry about it next. The next card we have is... Strength. Ooh. Okay. Strength. What do we got? Strength. Strength isn't just about physical power, but inner strength as well. It can be easy to forget your purpose and striking out on your own. What token or memory drives you forward? So we're going to roll to see whether we get this upright or reversed. That is 4, which means we get it upright. Your inner strength is one of resolve and thought-out, controlled power. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. That kind of fits with what we've been saying. Okay. It could be easy. What token or memory drives you forward? Ooh. Okay. Oh, whoa. These are incorrect. Hold up. Why are you doing that? Game? Not game. Why are you doing that? Program. There we go. Strength. That was the name of this card. Dang it. Go get this one. Strength. Driving token. So how do we think... We know that this, that's on the wrong page. That won't help. Let's put stuff here. I'll do that again. Okay. We know that our driving force is going to meet the Kraken. So how does... Or to become friends with the Kraken. How do we think that this mermaid has discovered the Kraken. Because I feel like that would be tied to whatever she's taking with her. I feel like it's probably some sort of... It's like the equivalent of taking, like, I don't know, a signed picture or something. Ooh! Maybe it's like... That would make sense, actually. Maybe she's got a piece of a ship that the Kraken sank at some point. That, like, is super rare. Because, like, the Kraken doesn't really come over to the Australasia that much. Or Oceania, so... Maybe she's got a... like, a piece of the ship that the Kraken sank in Oceania. And so that's why she's also kind of obsessed with pirates. Because that's like... It's like it's a piece of all of those things together. Yeah. OMG. Oh! Oh my god! It has to be, doesn't it? Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. Oh my god. Okay, great. Perfect. So... Okay. Here's what I'll say. Just so that we're not... Because that is amazing. Here's what I'm gonna take it slightly left, just so that we're not fully placing this in the same era as that other game. I think, let's say that the piece of ship that she has, that Layla has, is from a ship called the Dragon's Call. And then that way, we know, as diehard fans of these solo RPGs, that they're connected by the punk band that I guess got its name from an old pirate ship, which does sound very punk. We're gonna need to name this universe soon. So, for us, we know that the names go together, but it gives us a little bit more freedom if we decide that, you know, this story is actually taking place in the 1800s or 1700s or whenever it was. So let's say she's got a piece of the Dragon's Call, and then we understand the connection, but the story's not tied into it. That's great, though. That's so good. Okay. She has a piece of the ship called the Dragon's Call. Oh, okay. Here's the other thing, though. It's not... She doesn't have the full thing. She's got the end of it, so she's just got the NS call, and so she's assumed that it means the Kraken's Call, but we know that it's actually from a ship called the Dragon's Call. And that's why she's gone down the Kraken path with it. How about that? Great. Good. Okay, cool. Okay. Right, so that's what she's got. That is what she's holding on to, that she takes with her. Okay, that's a big piece of wood. Explains why it's all the way down here. Yeah, very true. Okay, alright, so, alright, okay, so much ocean in these parts. You'd think there'd be more ships going by. But I guess we're swimming too deep. Really see them on the surface. Could risk it. But it'd suck to mess things up before I got a chance to meet the Kraken. And if the stories are true, pirates are no joke. When it comes to catching sea creatures. Okay. I wonder if any of them... Oh, actually... I wonder if any of them have heard of the Kraken School before. What I want to see if I have... I don't think I do. But my brain is in, like... Oh, that could work, actually. My brain is in, typography mode. No, I don't think I do. I was trying to see if I have any fonts that look like, wood, like, rubbings or anything. Which I don't, because that'd be a very specialty thing to have, but I do have this. Okay, hold on. So what I'm gonna put here is this. Because what I would love to do in this moment is to do, you know that thing that they do in, like, kids' books sometimes, where they have, well, not just kids' books, but, like, novels as well, where they'll have, like, the little illustration in between the, like, paragraph breaks, or in between, like, breaks within a chapter. So I like the idea that this is, like, Layla including a, like an etching of the piece of the ship that she has. Like, she's put that underneath the journal page and just, like, rubbed over the top of it. Yeah, like a rubbing. Yeah. If I had a bit of font for it, I would do that, but I'll put that there for now. Okay. I wonder if any of them have heard of the Kraken School before. Wish I could have been there when the ship sank. That would have been so cool. I mean, yeah. Sad for the pirates, I guess. But imagine that's kind of what you get when you name your ship after the deadliest, coolest, most mysterious sea monster in the world. Oh. If I see a ship with my name on it, I'm absolutely gonna do absolutely gonna capsize it. Absolutely. Yeah, foreshadowing. Gonna capsize it. We getting a Layla, mayhaps. Absolutely gonna capsize it. All the treasure and cool swords. Treasure and cool swords. I mean, I'm making a name for myself. Gotta start somewhere. Maybe I'll find a dinghy. Something first. There we go. Alright. Here we go. This is the strength card. God, we're powering through this game at a much faster rate as well. I think that's just part of playing a slightly less intense story. I'm screwing around a lot more in this one. Alright. With so much ocean in these parts, you'd think there'd be more ships going by. But I guess we're swimming too deep to really see them on the surface. Yep. I could risk it, but it'd suck to mess things up before I got a chance to meet the Kraken. And if the stories are true, pirates are no joke when it comes to catching sea creatures. I wonder if any of them have heard of the Kraken's call before. Wish I could have been there when the ship sank. That would have been so cool. I mean, yeah, sad for the pirates, I guess, but that's kind of what you get when you name your ship after the deadliest, coolest, most mysterious sea monster in the world. If I see a ship with my name on it, I'm absolutely gonna capsize it. All the treasure and cool swords. I mean, if I'm making a name for myself, I've got to start somewhere. Maybe I'll find a dinghy or something first. Layla. Adorable. Such a cute creature with such a terrifying ambition. Impeccable fangirl vibes. It's true. Alright. Let us move strength off to the side. Our next card is... the Magician! Okay. We did already run into one of those, but let's see what this Magician is about. The Magician. The Magician! I'll get the cool shark picture in there. Creativity guides your journey, and you meet a sea witch along the way who offers to help you! I'm sorry? Oh my god! Okay, so now we have to roll to see if the sea witch is good to us or bad to us. Even she's nice, odd she is mischievous. Alright. Wait, no. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I said that right. That's a 4. We have a nice sea witch. Okay. So, we find a sea witch. The sea witch inspires you and leads you to a breakthrough, leading you down the right path to where you wish to go. Great. Okay. Either way, sea witch for the win. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Alright. The Magician. A friendly sea witch. Okay. Damn it, now we gotta come up with a name for a sea witch as well. Okay. So we found a nice sea witch. This is very early in our journey for us to be getting such an easy situation. So this is a sea witch that is gonna help us become cool enough to be friends with the Kraken. Okay. I mean... Okay, alright. I think... in this context... Current color is a bit cliche, but I'm using cool aqua. Maybe... Okay. I'm thinking in this context, right? The way that the sea witch would be good to us is kind of by making us more of a monster, because we want to be friends with the Kraken. So... Interesting. Inspires you and leads you to a breakthrough, leading you down the right path to where you wish to go. A breakthrough. So maybe the sea witch is also monstrous and like knows of a like knows of some magical thing in the Pacific Ocean that we can strive to get or visit or reach, that will help us become like bigger and stronger and also more monstrous, because we also know that we're a little bit of a squishy thing. We're a small little squish mermaid, so we do need to get kind of big and monstery. Getting out, going through our sea monster puberty, so to speak. Okay. So. Alright. What are... Ooh! Maybe it's the, what is it called? I think it's the Erdwell? Now I'm just throwing a whole bunch of different mythology stuff in there. But, I think it's the Erdwell. That is from, like, Celtic mythology? Which is, like, the source of... I'm gonna double check that I'm saying the right thing. Oh no, it's also from Norse mythology. That appears in Norse... Ah... Okay. Oh, that's right. That's at the bottom of the world tree, which is not... That's not quite what I'm after. Celtic mythology well. Well of Wisdom. What was it called? It might be that one, but I think I'm thinking of a different well. Hold on, one moment. I'll be back. This will bother me if I don't work it out, so I'm gonna go get my Celtic mythology book. One moment, please. Okay. Alright, okay, alright, okay. We got it, we got it, we got it. Okay. Because I'm thinking of a specific thing, and if I don't remember it, it'll bother me. So... maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Hold on. The Well of Brigid. No, not that one. What am I thinking of? Oh yes, go get some dinner for sure. What am I thinking of? This is like a fountain. No. It's just Shin Ramen. Nice. What was it? No. Oh, is it the dog bit? No. The Danu, that might be it. The two settled by a great stream of water. Maybe? No. There's one of these chapters that has, I think you know what you mean, but I don't remember the name. Yeah, there's one of these chapters that I know has a picture of a well at the start of it that I'm gonna try flicking for. Oh, wait, is this what it is? That's what it is! Yes, there's, I think that is what I'm thinking of. There's a thing called Dagda's Cauldron of Plenty, I think is the thing that I'm thinking of. Dagda's Cauldron of Plenty contained an endless supply of sustenance and could never be emptied. Symbolically, it is the sea with its endless supply of fish, water for the rains, and the source of healing springs and pools. The cauldron is also related to the cornucopia, a traditional mythic symbol of plenty. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Because I was pretty sure that it started with a D. So... Let's throw that in there, why don't we? Let's throw that in there. It makes no sense for it to be in the Pacific Ocean, but... Or, I guess... You know, it doesn't have to be. Because all we need is a breakthrough, right? And it's leading us down the right path. So... Maybe we just talk to this I guess... Welsh or Irish? I should check that. This Celtic. We talk to a Celtic sea witch, and are like, hey, we want to we're like, explain. We talk about the Kraken so much, and they're like, well, you know that you're gonna have to turn into a sea monster, right? If you want to do that, then you're probably gonna want to find a cauldron. When you hit the Atlantic Ocean, you should go looking for the cauldron, for Dagda's cauldron. I love that. Okay, let's do that. I'm just gonna put my mythology book up there because I have a sense that we may have to come back to it. Alright. We still don't have a name for... What was it? Aqua? Hold on. Celtic Sea Witch. What about maybe maybe a Celtic name. There's there's a lot of Celtic names that I know that I will mispronounce. Oh, wait. I think this is Neve? Pretty sure. That's one that I know is a Celtic spelling that I'm pretty sure that I can pronounce correctly. Let me double check that. Neve. Oh, it's without the E. Neve. Yeah! It's either Neve or Aether. So let's go with the Neve. Not great with English spelling. That's fine. Alright. Cool. So, well, let's call her Neve. I like that. Okay. So, the entry. Oh my gosh! Full fangirl writing. Oh my gosh. You won't believe who I just met. Writing it down now so you know I'm not making it up when I tell you in person. Listen. Met a sea witch. An actual sea witch. We never had, we didn't have one back in the reef. But I always thought they would be so cool to meet. Oh no. That'd be so cool. I got to meet one. Her name's Neve. Hers names? Her name's Neve. I don't think she's from the Pacific. She was but she looked so cool. But she looked so magical. She had, okay, what does a Celtic sea witch that lives in the Pacific Ocean look like? The only thing that I can think, like, I'm trying to picture commonalities between Celtic regions and Pacific regions, and the only thing that I'm thinking of is that they both have eels. So maybe she's the sea witch that's responsible for eels mating, because we still don't know how that happens. So maybe that's her whole thing. So maybe she's like an eel lady. She was so long and slithery. Sharpest tiny teeth you'll ever see. Instead of her fins, she had a whole bunch of slithering eels. Eel tails. So dark, you almost couldn't see them in night. Only see them that far underwater. But this purple glow followed her around everywhere. It was amazing. And she was so nice. Nothing like that grumpy old turtle. Now, these faraway places. When I asked her, to show me about these faraway places. So of course I had to ask her if she'd ever met the Kraken before. Show me about these faraway places. Of course I had to ask her if she'd ever met the Kraken before. She said it was, all the way in the Atlantic, where she used to live. But she got sick of all the hustle and bustle and moved out to warmer waters. Which I think is pretty fair. Moved out to warmer waters, which I think is pretty fair. But when I told her that I was gonna be a big sea monster one day, we've got even brighter. She got so glowy and excited, and she said she'd help. There's this place in the Atlantic called Agatha's Cauldron. Apparently, it's where all the cool sea monsters go to grow. All the cool sea creatures go to grow huge and monstrous. Go huge monstrous. And if I want to be a sea monster, that's where I need to go. I don't know where exactly, but if the Atlantic is half as nice as Neve, I'm sure I'll find it. There we go. Oh, amazing. I apologize to anybody watching that is off-put by my egregious blending of mythologies. Oh, goodness. Alright. The Magician! We found a friendly sea witch. Oh my gosh! You won't believe who I just met. I'm writing it down now so you know I'm not making it up when I tell you in person. I met a sea witch, an actual sea witch. We didn't have one back in the reef, but I always thought they would be so cool, and I got to meet one. Her name's Neve, and I don't think she's from the Pacific, but she looked so magical. She was so long and slithery with the sharpest tiny teeth you'll ever see. Instead of her fins, she had a whole bunch of slithering eel tails that was so dark you almost couldn't see them that far underwater, but this dark purple glow followed her around everywhere. It was amazing. And she was so nice. Nothing like that grumpy old turtle. She told me about these faraway places, so of course I had to ask her if she'd ever met the Kraken before. She said it was all the way in the Atlantic where she used to live, but she got sick of all the hustle and bustle and moved to warmer waters, which I think is pretty fair. But when I told her that I was going to be a big sea monster one day, she got so glowy and excited, and she said she'd help. There's this place in the Atlantic called Dagda's Cauldron. Apparently it's where all the cool sea creatures go to grow huge and monstrous, and if I want to be a sea monster, that's where I need to go. I don't know where exactly, but if the Atlantic is half as nice as Neve, I'm sure I'll find it. Layla. Oh, bliss. Sweet little fangirl. Alrighty. That is our magician. Next card off the block. We got... Ooh! We got the lovers. What does this entail? Are we gonna get a crush? Ooh! Excited crayons. Ooh! You take a leap of faith for someone or something you care deeply about. What is it that you do, and what results from your actions? All good! Go have some yum food! You are welcome to lurk. Oh, okay, alright. So, awaiting eggs to boil. Nice. Okay. So, we take a leap of faith. We've got to roll for upright or reversed. Does she meet one of the fan club? Maybe, yeah. Let's see. That is reversed. So you think only of yourself, resulting in hurt feelings and broken promises. Oh no! Now we've hit the sad moment. Does she meet one of the fan club, but they aren't true fans? Take a leap of faith for someone or something you deeply care about. A leap of faith. What is it that you do, and what results from your actions? Interesting. A leap of faith for something that you care deeply about. Think only of yourself, resulting in hurt feelings and broken promises. I feel like... This is tricky because we're traveling largely on our own, so we don't have anybody immediately near us that results in hurt feelings and broken promises. But I think what this is us deciding to, because we've just gotten this great tip about we've gotten this great tip about this next stage of the journey. Like, if we want to be a cool sea monster, we got to go find Dagda's Cauldron. I feel like what it is that Layla doesn't go and visit one of the fan club. Like, she'd been telling them that she was going to go and do it, but because she's really eager to go get to the Atlantic as fast as possible, maybe she had a friend in, like, East Asia or, like, Japan that she was meant to go and visit that she doesn't go and visit. And so it does result in hurt feelings and broken promises, but I don't know that it is something that we necessarily would see the repercussions of in the journal, if you know what I mean. Because I don't think Layla is self-aware enough for that. I think it is going to be more of an entry of like, I couldn't do the thing, but I'm sure they'll understand, whereas it might in reality have actually really hurt her friend's feelings, but she won't know that because she can't talk to them. Yeah. Taking a leap of faith for something you care deeply about. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what that's gonna be. Now, what is the thing that she does? It might just be that she just tries to cut straight across the ocean. Yeah. Okay, alright. Okay. I know I said we were going to catch up when I was traveling. Okay. Alright. Actually, let's do this one. Dear... she's gone. I'm going to just default to calling one of these pen pals Shizuka, because when I was a kid, my family used to have a lot of Japanese exchange students, and we had at least 2 of them that were called Shizuka, who... I think one of them actually knew... We had like 3 different Japanese exchange students, and I'm pretty sure one of the Shizukas knew a different exchange student that we got at one point. But it is my default name whenever I have to name a Japanese NPC, because I'm like, definitely for sure I know that is a legit Japanese name. So let's go with Shizuka. Dear Shizuka, I know I said we were gonna catch up when oh, okay. This part is just for you to read later. I'll make sure to send it if I don't come back your way. I know I said we were gonna catch up when I was traveling. Really wanted to, but really wanted to, but Hey, Flock of Teeth! Welcome! We are in the middle of playing a game called The Siren's Calling. It's a solo RPG game, and we are currently playing as a rambunctious Australian lionfish mermaid called Layla, who is a huge Kraken fangirl, and is on her way to try and be BFFs with the Kraken. And we are just in our 4th journal entry, which has taken our first sad turn, trying to write exactly how they are somewhat apologizing to their friend that they won't be able to make a stop off in the spot. How's your evening going? I really wanted to. But since I met Neve, I can't stop thinking about the cauldron. I'm thinking about Dagda's cauldron. Sounds so cool. And I'm really sorry, but I don't want to risk taking a detour, getting there late or something. Or there, late or something. So I'm gonna head straight across the Pacific. Instead. Sorry. You get it though, right? And if I had a way to let you know about it, you could totally come with me. But I don't. So you can't. Sorry. Hope things are good for you, in your ocean, in your sea. And we'll for sure catch up. Later. Maybe I can introduce you to the Kraken. How cool would that be? Spines and seashells. Layla. I'm just gonna... Spines and seashells is of course, the mermaid equivalent of hugs and kisses. Spines and seashells. Alright. So this is our entry for the lovers. We're making a leap of faith decision that is going to result in us thinking only of ourselves, some hurt feelings, and some broken promises. Dear Shizuka, this part is just for you to read later. I'll make sure to send it if I don't come back your way. I know I said we're going to catch up when I was travelling, and I really wanted to. But since I met Neve, I can't stop thinking about Dagda's cauldron. It sounds so cool, and I'm really sorry, but I don't want to risk taking a detour and getting there late or something. So I'm gonna head straight across the Pacific instead. Sorry. You get it though, right? If I had a way to let you know about it, you could totally come with me. But I don't. So you can't. Sorry. I hope things are good for you in your sea, and we'll for sure catch up later. Maybe I can introduce you to the Kraken. How cool would that be? Spines and seashells, Layla. Oh, the music got so kind of sad. Oh, Layla. Why you gotta be like this? Why you gotta ditch out on your friends? Oh, sweetie. Alright. That is the lovers. Wonderful. On to the next card. We are powering through these. What do we have? Temperance. Okay. I don't immediately know what that word means. Temperance. Where are we? Temperance. Oh, and a beautiful seahorse merperson. Temperance. What is it that you most need to discover in your travels? Is it new places and cultures, categorizing the creatures you meet in the ocean, or something else? It's like meditation restraint. Oh, restraint. Yes, okay. Yeah, my main touch point for it is like the temperance movement, but I never really I never really have a solid remembrance of what it's supposed to be about. That's good. That's a good description. Thank you. Okay. So now we have to roll because I don't have the reversed and the upright version set up in the deck. So now we have to roll to see if we get a if we get the upright outcome from this card or if we get the reversed outcome. Moderateness. Oh yeah. 6, so we get it upright. Do you find what you have been looking for? Okay. What do we need to discover most in our travels? It's new places and creatures, for sure. Well, okay. So the main thing that we're here for is to find the Kraken and become best friends. But that also involves new places and cultures. Do you find what you've been looking for? I think so. So I think this entry is like, temperance, new places and creatures, moderation. Oh, yeah, you got the gist of it. I think we do find new places and creatures, and I think, so I think this entry is gonna be from a little while on, having made it across the Pacific Ocean, through, I guess, the Panama Canal, that area, and so this is the entry that is like Layla's first time in the Atlantic, or the Caribbean/Atlantic area. Yeah. Okay, I do this every time. I make story decisions, and then I realize that I don't actually know enough about the thing that I'm writing about to do a good job. Sure, it'll be fine. Okay. So, we're arriving in the Atlantic Ocean. It's been... Oh no, don't change fonts on me. It's been a long few weeks. I actually don't know how long it takes to sail across the Pacific Ocean. I imagine weeks. Even if you're a mermaid. How long to sail the Pacific Ocean? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Anywhere between 22 to 40 days. Yeah, by sailboat. So yeah, it's been a few weeks, I would say. Long few weeks. But I'm so excited to say, right. Finally made it to the Atlantic. Or nearby. Well, or nearby. I'm not sure what this sea is called, actually. There's so many new people to ask. Already. Oh, that was a weird dip in the music. Already, the water smells like adventure. Have you all ever smelled that before? Oh, it probably tastes, right? Because you're in water. Tasted that before? Water tastes like adventure. Tasted that before? Like spicy, sweet, and kinda bitter. Love it. I had to swim really carefully through this tiny channel at one point, and at one point with huge hills on either side. Have you seen those before? They're like volcanoes, but above the water, and they don't steam as much. There were so many ships so close. Could have snatched someone off the side at night if I really wanted to. But I'm being careful. I need to make it to Dagda's Cauldron before I cause too much trouble. Here, huge explosions all over the place. Water carries the sound of them for miles. Down again. Huge fields of debris, of broken bits. Will drift past in the water. None of them look as cool as the Kraken skull. But I saved some pieces to bring back and show you. I think I need to head out of the shallow seas and into proper ocean before I can find the cauldron. Things might get a little chillier. I'm tough. Nothing. Maybe if I'm deep enough, catch sight of the Kraken. Wouldn't that be crazy? Don't worry. I'm being safe. Don't worry. Promise I'm being safe. Layla. Nice. Okay. Here we go. This is our temperance entry. It's been a long long few weeks, but I'm so excited to write that I've finally made it to the Atlantic! Or nearby. I'm not sure what this sea is called actually, but there's so many new people to ask. Already the water tastes like adventure. Have you ever tasted that before? It's like spicy and sweet and kind of bitter. I love it. I had to swim really carefully through this tiny channel at one point with huge hills on either side. Have you seen those before? They're like volcanoes, but above the water, and they don't steam as much. Above the water. There were so many ships so close, I could have snatched someone off the side at night if I really wanted to. But I'm being careful. I need to make it to Dagda's cauldron before I cause too much trouble. There are huge explosions all over the place. The water carries the sound of them for miles, and now and again, huge fields of broken bits will drift past in the water. None of them look as cool as the Kraken's call, but I saved some pieces to bring back and show you. I think I need to head out of the shallow seas and into proper ocean before I can find the cauldron, so things might get a little chillier, but I'm tough. And maybe if I'm deep enough, I'll catch sight of the Kraken. Wouldn't that be crazy? Don't worry, I promise I'm being safe. Layla. Returned with ramen. Returned victorious. Excellent. Alrighty. Wonderful. We made it. We made it to the Atlantic. Huzzah! This is great. We are truly powering through this. Amazing. Alright. That is Temperance. What is our next card? Boom! Judgment! It's the end of the world, baby! So, before we do Judgment, where is Judgment? Okay, before we do Judgment, let's, so in the journal, we have decided that, basically when Layla was living in her home reef, she had a lot of pen pals that she would send letters to back and forth with, who are also big fans of the Kraken. Kind of like having internet friends, but they're sending each other messages in bottles. And that those are like her only real friends that she has, because she's a little bit of a problem child at home. And so the journal is her writing entries that she would send in regular life, she would send as letters to her friends, but because she's traveling the world, they can't send letters back and forth as easily. So she's writing all the things down in the journal so that she can share it with them when she gets back home. Or when she runs into them, because she did make a promise to catch up with her friends while she was traveling the world, which is part of what this entry for the lovers is her having to break that promise, although she has no real way of telling her friend that, because she found out about Dagda's cauldron, which is a magical place that will help her turn into a sea monster. And so she was like, I'm gonna go seek that out. So sorry. But yeah, so all of these entries are her kind of directing them to her friends around the world. Now, with that, with the judgment card, let me remind myself of how that works, because things are changing. So, during your game, when you pull Judgment, you will place the world into the remaining deck and shuffle 3 times to randomize its location. Pulling the world ends your mermaid's journey for the moment anyway. Okay, interesting. So, I think... Let's go through what we do for Judgment first, and then we can deal with that, and I will try and not fuck that up in reassembling the deck. Okay, so Judgment. Such beautiful artworks in this game. It is Judgment Day. Judgment. You overcome a great obstacle in your way, turning your attention towards thoughts of home. How was the obstacle? How do you feel after you overcome it? Oh. Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna roll this dice to see whether we're dealing with the upright or the reversed version of this. 1 is the reversed. Doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again, your heart feels heavy as you succeed, but it doesn't feel like the accomplishment you expected it to be. Okay, is this her first shipwreck? Is this the first time that she destroys a crew and she kind of feels bad about it? Because that would make sense to me. It's like, that was also, it's so funny. I was half-heartedly foreshadowing that, being like, don't worry, I promise I'm being safe. Over in this other entry. But I feel like that might be what it is that she comes across, or maybe she like gets caught by a ship at some point. And then she just slaughters everybody. Or she very brutally finds her way out of that situation. And then is like, huh. Oh, whoops. Why is she wanting to be a sea monster? No, the questions are welcome. So in this situation, the justification that we came up for Layla wanting to leave home, her reason for that was that she is a huge fan of the Kraken, the mythological giant sea monster. And so she is her whole ambition with leaving home, leaving the reef, is to become best friends with the Kraken. And the main way to do that she has in mind is by, basically, to her mind, the Kraken is a celebrity, and so she also needs to become a celebrity to be on that same level, to be able to make friends with the Kraken. And in an earlier entry, she came across a sea witch who was very helpful and said, like, well, if you want to become a famous sea monster, then you need to go to this place called Dagda's Cauldron, which is an actual thing from Celtic mythology. And if you go there, it'll help you grow into a big and terrifying sea monster, and then you can wreck house and become best friends with the Kraken that way. Absolutely rife with this didn't turn out how I thought it would. Yeah, exactly. Yes, so basically, yeah, because for the moment she's just a mermaid, and she's also quite a small squish mermaid. We decided that she's quite a small friend. Being famous and terrifying, not so fun when you gotta murder a lot. Absolutely. So I think when it comes to like an obstacle that we have to overcome, and because we've rolled for the fact that we are doomed to repeat mistakes over and over again, we succeeded, but we don't feel like the accomplishment doesn't feel how we expected it to. I feel like the most fitting thing for that is she has very emotional music. She has got this opportunity to be like, oh yeah, this is my first time, I'm gonna capsize a boat, I'm gonna wreck a ship, and then she gets to do that and overcomes that challenge, and then realizes that it doesn't feel as good as she thought it would feel. So maybe she doesn't get caught then. Maybe this is second guessing. I feel like maybe she doesn't get caught by a ship then. She just takes it upon herself to ruin a place. Or to wreck a ship. Which means it's probably not very big. People desperately trying to save themselves and each other. Very true. Maybe they're still... because she's also mildly interested in pirates, just because, well, like sailors in general, but we flavored it for pirates, because the Kraken drowns pirates all the time, so she's like, why, what's so cool about, or interesting about pirates that you want to wreck their lives all the time? So maybe this is like a really small pirate ship. I'm just trying to think of like how a singular mermaid could do that. Without making it too sad. Has my music stopped working? No, there it goes. Okay. Maybe. What can you do from the water? Yeah, exactly. I'm actually, what if I don't want not to get really, I don't think this is really sad, because I think these are still gonna be bad people, but like, we did also mention earlier in the journal that like, she was talking about trying with a dinghy first, so maybe instead of ruining a whole boat, maybe she's ruined like a rescue boat, like the paddle boats that you have on bigger ships, in the middle of like a different big fight. Like there's a ship on ship combat taking place, and some of the crew abandoned their ship to try and paddle away, and then that was the thing that she attacked. And it was kind of lackluster because it's not a really impressive ship. They probably didn't have any treasure on them. They maybe had one sword, and they would have all been really scared. Back and forth from shore. Yeah. Very true. Yeah. I think I would go with that. Because then it might also be like, there are like, it's just a bunch of traders that are abandoning ship in the middle of a fight, and then she doesn't even get to like keep the ship because whoever is actually fighting the ship took it with them. So it's just all a bit disappointing. Okay. Well... Today... wasn't great. Well, today wasn't quite what I imagined. Got to see a proper shit fight. That was cool, I guess. It gets so noisy. And this weird dark steam starts to fill the air. There were swords. There were pirates, though. Real proper pirates. Real proper pirates. They were fighting with swords. Real proper swords. And these little metal things made really loud noises. So I thought, well, here's your chance, Layla. We can drag a ship down. We can drag a ship down right now. Those things are so heavy. They have these big chains attached to them. When they're not sailing. But pulling on it didn't really do much. And I'm not great at climbing yet. Couldn't really get to any of them. But then there was this big splash. And another boat showed up. A little dingy one. And I thought, well, maybe this is your chance. Layla? Second time's the charm. Few of them in there. A few of them in there. And the water was pretty choppy. Just waited for the right moment and push. The whole thing flipped over. It looked so surprised, scared when they saw me. Which was kind of cool. And they didn't drop any treasure or anything. They just screamed a whole bunch. I did fight one of them. Really angry. Water. Oh wait, no. One of them. They had a sword at least. So cool up close. But when I ran up to look at it, they pulled it into their hand, took this huge swing at me. It took this huge swing at me. And cut off like 4 spines. It really hurt. So yeah, I got really mad. Got a package delivered. The coloring books I bought secondhand with the free pencils. One of the colors is a rare discontinued color, and OMG, I'm freaking because I've always wanted to have it. It's the perfect pastel purple. I wish it was a regular color. Aw! Congratulations! That's so cool. That's awesome. And cut off like 4 spines. It really hurt. So yeah, I got really mad. Yeah. Grabbed him, ripped him up a bunch. Trying really hard to talk about. The pencil nerd in me is very happy. I'm so glad. The pencil nerd in everybody deserves to be so happy. I'm glad that you are. I'm trying so hard to talk about murdering sailors without making it really gruesome. And yeah, I grabbed him. I grabbed him. And ripped them up a bunch. What else was I supposed to do? The rest of them, well, they all tried to swim away. But I'm gonna be a sea monster, right? People leave. So apparently fighting involves combat? 2 out of 10. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're gone. There, yeah. Got this cool sword. They're all just floating around. Ship sail off and I don't know. It just doesn't seem as cool. Like, when did you ever hear about the Kraken getting hurt? People don't even try to fight the Kraken. Run away the moment they see it. The moment they even think about it. I don't know. Just... I don't know. It just... doesn't feel like it should. So super cool when you're in the middle of it. Hope so, Layla. Aw, sweetie. Alright. Okay, this is our judgment entry. We've come across an obstacle that makes us potentially rethink our goals and realize that this first obstacle wasn't as satisfying as we hoped it would be. So, today wasn't quite what I imagined. I finally got to see a proper ship fight. That was cool, I guess. It gets so noisy, and this weird dark steam starts to fill the air. There were pirates though, real proper pirates. And they were fighting with real proper swords and these little metal things that made really loud noises. So I thought, well, here's your chance, Layla. We could drag a ship down right now. But those things are so heavy. They have these big chains attached to them when they're not sailing, but pulling on it didn't really do much, and I'm not great at climbing yet, so I couldn't really get to any of them. But then there was this big splash, and another boat showed up, a little dinghy one, and I thought, well, maybe this is your chance, Layla. Second time's the charm. There were a few of them in there, and the water was pretty choppy, so I just waited for the right moment, and push! The whole thing flipped over. They all looked so surprised and scared when they saw me, which it was kinda cool. But they didn't drop any treasure or anything, they just screamed a whole bunch. I did fight one of them, because they had a sword at least. It looked so cool up close, but when I swam up to look at it, they pulled it into their hand, took this huge swing at me, and cut off like 4 spines. It really hurt. So yeah, I got really mad. And yeah, I grabbed them and ripped them up a bunch. What else was I supposed to do? And then the rest of them, well, they all tried to swim away, but I'm gonna be a sea monster, right? I can't just let people leave. So now I've got this cool sword, and they're all just floating around while this ship sails off, and I don't know. It just doesn't seem as cool. Like, when did you ever hear about the Kraken getting hurt? People don't even try to fight the Kraken. They just run away the moment they even think about it. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it should. It doesn't seem so super cool when you're in the middle of it. Maybe that changes when you get really big. I hope so, Layla. I love this journey so far. I want to be a big scary monster, but fighting. Exactly. Listen, this is the this is the sea monster equivalent of like, I want to be famous, but I don't want to have to do all the work to like be good at what I do. I don't want to have to put effort into my craft. I just want to be famous. The truth of combat sounds cool until you're doing it. Yeah, absolutely. It sounds really cool to be scary until you watch somebody be scared by you, and then things change. Okay, so we get rid of judgment. Then we are going to take the world, which is this one here, and we are going to try and... Can I return it to the deck? Can I recall? Sweet, okay, hold on. So I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna remove this card, and then I'm gonna go to the recall option. Oh no, I can't do that! Damn it. Fuck. Well, I fucked that up. My bad. Dang it. Can I, in this one? No. Okay, hold on. What have we already had? Sorry, don't mind me. I'm going to... This is the tricky thing with doing this with a digital version of the tarot cards, because it's a lot harder to do this stuff. So we got Lovers, Temperance, Judgment, Magician, Strength, and Emperor. Okay, so if I recall all, do I get the removed ones back? Oh. Here we go. Recall this. Okay. So now, because we're gonna have to shuffle it anyway, so I just have to do this slightly the long way, and I apologize. But I've got to find the Fool again and put that back in my hand. And then... Don't mind me! No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Oh, shuffle? Wait, what? Recall. Shuffle. Okay, that's the world. No. 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 There we go. Full. Okay. So I'm gonna take the Fool. Then we're gonna recall everything that's on the table. Then we're gonna shuffle again. How many times do we need to shuffle it? Shuffle the deck 3 times. Okay. Here we go. Shuffle 1. Shuffle 2. Shuffle 3. Okay. So this deck should now be good. I've made a list of all the cards that we've already gotten. So if we get one of them again, we can just ignore it. That's one of the complications of doing this digitally. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, cool. All right. Wonderful. Okay. On to the next card. What do we have? The moon. Ooh. What do we get with the moon? The moon. Oh, Interesting. Okay. Sometimes the ocean deep plays tricks on your mind, especially the farther you travel from home. Do you find anguish or relief at the end when you realize the deception? Ooh. Okay. Weird. Okay. Huh. I'm just gonna roll to see if we're getting this upright or reversed. It's reversed. Revealing the deception for what it was brings you an inner sense of peace. Not all is as it seems in the ocean, and there is a serenity in holding that knowledge in your mind and your heart. Okay. So kind of the better version. So we get tricked by the ocean. Oh my god! Y'all! Think about this with me. I want to see if you can get this in chat, right? We're in the Atlantic Ocean. We've just basically come through the Panama Canal. We're heading east, probably towards Great Britain. What mysterious, misleading, magical entity / environment might we run into in the oceans in that part of the world? I have a thought that I want to see if y'all are on the same page. While I write the title in here. No. The cave under the light tower? That is not what I was thinking of, but I do like that suggestion. No, I'm thinking of a real world thing. That is a good suggestion, though. Here we go. I'll type it in. Mayhaps a Bermuda Triangle situation? Oh, okay. Though I say it's not necessarily deep ocean. Like, the Bermuda Triangle is just south of Florida, so it's not super deep ocean, but we're in the area, so it feels appropriate. Revealing the deception for what it is brings you a sense of inner peace. An inner sense of peace. Not all is as it seems in the ocean, and there is a serenity in holding that knowledge in your mind and your heart. Now, if we're gonna do that, we gotta decide what that means. My mind was trying to think way further north for some reason. Fair. What is it doing? What is it? The thing is, though, it's something that you're doing that you can reveal is untrue. And I don't really want to go down the aliens route in this particular game. Maybe if we're mixing mythos, yes, absolutely. We're for sure mixing mythos. I've run in with the world serpent. See, I was also thinking about that, right? I did also consider the world serpent before I decided on the Kraken. Yeah. But, so it's gotta be... That's interesting, actually. That's a fun... Huh. That is a fun interpretation of the Bermuda Triangle that does not make any sense, but I do like it. The idea that maybe, like, the Bermuda Triangle is, like, where the head of the world serpent is. And that's why people go missing, is they're just getting eaten by the world serpent. No reason why there isn't a whirlpool that transfers to a weird region. Yeah, very true. Jormungandr. So in that case, if that's... Okay. I'm curious what would give that away. Like, I'm curious what would... Jormungandr's head is what I was thinking. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. That's where the mouth of the world serpent is, and so it just swallows things. I like that. That's a very cool idea. I'm just trying to think of, like, what illusion... Oh, well, a fin that stirs up the sea. True, yeah. Maybe it's not even, like... Maybe this isn't necessarily an intentional deception. Maybe it's just that, like, Layla thought that she had found Dagda's cauldron because she finds this huge... It's like, what... Oh. There's a thing that I saw on Tumblr very recently that was like, whales have now started, when they see birds hunting fish in the ocean, they come to the surface of the water and just hold their mouths open because the fish think that it's a, like, darker, shadier, safe place to hide inside the whale's mouth, and then they'll just eat all the fish. So maybe that's what happened, is Layla thinks that it's the cauldron because it's just this big, gaping, like, opening, and then something gives it away that it's actually a mouth. Okay. Have I told you how much I like your brain? Thank you. It's one of my best qualities. Listen, if there's one thing I pride myself on, it's my ability to take one thing and another thing and come up with a reason why they can be connected. That is a skill that I will gladly boast. Okay. There's a strong argument for your giggle there too. That's fair. That's also true. Okay, so now, that's what happened. Now the journal entry. Okay. You know how sometimes when you're on really, really, really long swims, you get kind of tired and just find a current you can drift in a little? You know it's not super safe. Know where they're going. But usually you have someone with you to keep an eye out for danger. Well... maybe I got a little too relaxed after fighting pirates. Maybe I got a little too relaxed now that I have a cool sword. Jormungandr doesn't have... Jormungandr doesn't have a, like, thing that kills them, right? Like, there is a person who... I think it's Loki that kills Jormungandr, maybe. Crossing all my Norse mythology through God of War Ragnarok. But, like, I don't think Jormungandr has, like a silver bullet type thing that would kill Jormungandr. Yeah. No? Yeah. Maybe I got a little too relaxed now that I have a cool sword. There's just so much swimming between home and the Atlantic. So I wanted to take a break for a little while. There was this really calm part of the ocean that I wasn't that I wasn't hearing any other ships or creatures in, and I thought that meant it'd be a little safer. Shows what I know. Recently listened to a Norse myth audio book, and I can't recall how he dies, but I'm pretty sure he can't be killed before Ragnarok. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's one of the things that... maybe it's... maybe it's Thor that kills him? But yeah, it's a Ragnarok thing, for sure. Okay. Let me move this over. Whoop. Shows what I know. So I was drifting, right? Hold back and forth between everyone killing everyone in the end. Yeah. It gets a little messy. So I was drifting, right? And there was this really strong but like calm current that was kind of carrying me down deeper in the ocean. And when I actually looked around, there was this huge hole? Yeah, I guess a hole. This huge hole that it was flowing into. I got super excited, right? Because wow, if there's a cauldron that's supposed to be sea monster size, that's supposed to make sea monsters. You've gotta be at least this big. Maybe this is the place. It's so cool. Maybe this is the place. But I also thought, hold on, you've never really told me how this works. Like, if it's Dagda's cauldron, shouldn't Dagda be around here somewhere? Like, using it? Surely it's not just sitting here for anyone. For anything to swim into. So I was... Hey! Hello! Hello, readers! Welcome! Thank you so much for popping in. Welcome to the channel. I am a raider now. Welcome! We are doing some more solo RPG stuff here. If you haven't been hanging out, obviously you've been hanging out with the lovely Samsara. I hope you had a wonderful stream. If you haven't been in here before, hi, I'm Ruby. Welcome. We are doing some solo RPG content on the channel at the moment. This evening, we are playing a game called The Siren's Calling, which is a very fun solo RPG where we are journaling as a mermaid called Layla, who is a fangirl of the Kraken and is on a mission to also become a sea monster herself so that she can become besties with the Kraken. Basically. There's a lot of mixed mythology involved. There's a lot of fangirling. It's a good time. So if you want to hang out for that, you are most welcome in, and I hope you've had a super fun time over on Samsara's channel as well. Sounds like you're merm for swords and stuff, Amy. Yeah, so we are in the middle of writing a journal entry. Basically, all of the entries that we write in this game are determined, the theme of them are determined by tarot cards that we're pulling from. So you can see in the bottom left there, we've got the moon card, which means that we had a misleading, deceptive situation that kind of played a trick on us. Do we need to do a detailed go one shot with her again? Where something in the deep ocean has been mysteriously misleading us. I did suggest the Kraken tracking department. We have a Kraken fan club though. That is true. But we pulled this card. We actually, because I don't have the reversed one set up in the deck, we had to roll to see whether it was reversed, and we got this. That particular prompt is reversed, so we have discovered the deception, and my brain was immediately like, hey, we've swum from the Pacific through the Panama Canal into the Atlantic. What is a weird, misleading, watery thing in that part of the world? Obviously, the Bermuda Triangle comes to mind. And what else could the Bermuda Triangle possibly be other than secretly the mouth of the world serpent Jormungandr? You know, of course that's what it is. We're throwing a lot of things in this story. We're making a big old soup. And you are welcome to join in on it in the chat as well if you are interested in sticking around and listening and contributing to a super fun story with some chill lo-fi beats going on. Kelpies are Scottish, so a bit far from Fiji? I don't know why that got asterisked out. Well, we're in the Atlantic now, so we are approaching Kelpie territory. We ran into a Celtic sea witch called Neve, who told us about Dagda's cauldron, which is an artifact from Celtic mythology that apparently in this particular story is used, or can be used, to help our little mermaid turn herself into a sea monster. So that's what we are in search of for the moment. We haven't run into any Kelpies yet, but they have been on my brain. I've got that locked away. Hitting because the dot on my abbreviation... Oh, made it look like a link. Got you. Gotcha. But yes, so we are in the middle of writing the entry where Layla almost swims down Jormungandr's gullet and then realizes her mistake and gets the hell out of there. But I also thought, hold on, Neve never really told me how this works. If it's Dagda's cauldron, shouldn't Dagda be around here somewhere, like, using it? Surely it's not just sitting not just sitting here for anyone to swim into. So I was partway inside when I changed my mind and started swimming out. And things looked kind of weird on a second pass. Also, this, I do this all the time, typing is fun, yeah. Also, this mermaid is from the Great Barrier Reef, which is why when I'm saying stuff in her voice, I'm using an Australian accent. a passable Australian accent. Apologies if any raiders are Australian, or anybody that was already watching was Australian and is offended. I'm so sorry. Things look kind of weird on a second pass. Like, got to the top of the cauldron, or the top of the hole, and there were these weird, rocks that I thought were maybe handles before, but when I went past them again, they looked more like spines or fangs or something. But still, that might fit a monster-making cauldron, right? Well, you won't believe this. This next part. Swim out of the hole. And I start looking around the sides, but it's so deep that there's hardly any light anywhere until... Must just be an aesthetic choice. Yeah, exactly, it's a monster cauldron. It's like the... Well, no, it's not like that. It's just like an interesting, it's like having an interesting design on a cookie jar. There's hardly any light at all. Until, I see these other fish with little glowing lights on their heads that get sucked in with the current. They pass by. I swear I felt my heart, my stomach drop out of my tail. They floated past this glassy bit on the side, and it was a huge freaking eyeball, like bigger than me, than my head. Bigger than all of me. Eyeball. This, it wasn't the cauldron at all. It was a huge head sticking out the bottom of the ocean. Way into darkness. With its huge mouth open, just eating everything. For a second, I was like, whoa! Is this the Kraken? Did I nearly get swallowed by it? It didn't even say hi? Something even bigger. I didn't think that was possible, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Well, I'll tell you, I was not about to make introductions. I mean, it looked cool, but I was practically krill to something that big. I swam out of there like, as fast as I could. Oh. Until I couldn't feel that current anymore. And finally come down. There's still so many scary things out here that I never knew about. It's so freaking cool. Layla. Absolute. I feel like Layla as a character is like towing the line between fangirl and horse girl, but for for sea monsters. Brush with death and loves it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, alright. Alrighty, this is the moon entry. Another big one, but that feels appropriate. Alright. You know how sometimes when you're really, when you're on, that'll help. You know how sometimes when you're on really long swims, you get kind of tired and just find a current you can drift in a little? Well, we know it's not super safe because you don't know where they're going, but usually you have someone with you to keep an eye out for danger. Well, maybe I got a little too relaxed now that I have a cool sword. There's just so much swimming between home and the Atlantic, so I wanted to take a break for a little while. There was a really calm part of the ocean that I wasn't hearing any other ships or creatures in, and I thought that meant it'd be a little safer. Shows what I know. So I was drifting, right? And there was this really strong but calm current that was kind of carrying me down deeper in the ocean. And when I actually looked around, there was this huge hole that it was flowing into. And I got super excited, right? Because wow! If there's a cauldron that's supposed to make sea monsters, it's gotta be at least this big. Maybe this is the place. But I also thought, hold on, Neve never really told me how it works. If it's Dagda's cauldron, shouldn't Dagda be around here somewhere, using it? Surely it's not just sitting here for anything to swim into. So I was partway inside when I changed my mind and started swimming out, and things looked kind of weird on a second pass. I got to the top of the hole, and there were these weird rocks that I thought were maybe handles before, but when I went past them again, they looked more like spines or fangs or something. But still, that might fit a monster-making cauldron, right? Well, you won't believe this next part. I swim out of the hole and I start looking around the sides, but it's so deep that there's hardly any light anywhere until I see these other fish that with little glowy lights on their heads start to get sucked in with the current. And as they pass by, I swear I felt my stomach drop out of my tail. They floated past this glassy bit on the side and it was a huge freaking eyeball! Bigger than my head, bigger than all of me, eyeball! It wasn't the cauldron at all. It was a huge head sticking out in the bottom of the ocean, away into darkness, with its huge mouth open, just eating everything. And for a second, I was like, whoa, is this the Kraken? Did I nearly get swallowed by it and didn't even say hi? But no, it's something even bigger. I didn't think that was possible, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Well, I'll tell you, I was not about to make introductions. I mean, it looked cool, but I was practically krilled to something that big. I swam out of there as fast as I could until I couldn't feel that current anymore and finally calmed down. There's still so many scary things out here that I never knew about. It's so freaking cool! Layla. Oh, buddy. Oh, sweetie. You don't know any better. Alrighty. Nice, that was the moon. Let's see what else we got. The Emperor we have done. Wait, did we do it? Yes, we did the Emperor. Yeah. Emperor we have done. Judgment we have done. Chariot we have not done. What is the chariot? And where is the chariot? Oop. The chariot. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Okay, the chariot. You make a friend for a short time in a cove after losing your way and washing up on shore. Kelpie! 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 Who or what are they? How do they try to help you continue on your journey? Ooh. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's see whether we got this upright or reversed. We got it reversed. Your opposing viewpoints and plans clash, leading to a fissure in your newfound friendship. You part ways after a devastating failure leaves you worse off than before. Oh god! Oh no! Oh, that's so bad! Oh boy, okay. Well now. Oh gosh. Chariot. Actually, I'm gonna copy this onto the next page. Because feels like we're gonna need some space for that one. The chariot. New friendship on, goes poorly. Oh boy. Make a friend for a short time in a cove. Your opposing viewpoints and plans clash, leading to a fissure in a newfound friendship. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is very intense and is going to require a lot of brain power. But, and I hate to do this, and I probably shouldn't have pulled a card before I do, I'm gonna leave the stream here because I've just realized what time it is. And I'm so sorry for that. But I do still have some work that I need to be doing this evening. It really did. It flew by. We've already been going for like just over 3 hours. But I have this entry here that we've already rolled for. I have the Roll20 set up, which will not change between now and when we next get to do this, and this gives us a thing to do on the weekend, which is great, because I was very curious whether we would actually get to the end of this before, like, whether we would come across the end of this in one stream, or whether we might be able to stretch this across the weekend. So I think now is the better place to leave it, just in case the next card is the world card, and we do have to end the story in the very next card. Let's leave it now so that we have something to come back to on the weekend for sure. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out for this stream though. I really love this game. This is great. These prompts are so good. I love the character that we've got. I love this zany mixed mythology that we're working with, and I'm very keen to jump back into it. I'm pretty sure, unless I've received a message to the contrary, no, yeah, absolutely, yeah, if anybody wants to pick up this game, it's called The Siren's Calling, it's on DriveThruRPG, you can pick it up for about, I think it's $9 USD, so like $14-15 New Zealand, I think. But it's great. I'm loving this. And the artwork is so gorgeous. And you can, if you don't have a tarot deck, you can pick one up on Roll20 as well. They're great. I think I will be back on Saturday night. If I'm not back on Saturday night, I'll be back on Sunday night. But I think I'll be back on Saturday night. Same fish time, same fish channel. To finish off this story with our lovely Layla. But thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I should also say, before we fully wrap up, all of these solo RPGs are in preparation for stuff at the end of, not at the end of this month, at the end of June. Myself and a bunch of lovely friends are going to be running a Monster of the Week one-shot stream as part of Kiwi RPG Week in the end of June. So we are on Saturday the 29th, she says Yes, Saturday the 29th of June, we are playing Monster of the Week. It is if you don't know Monster of the Week, it's a super fun RPG system where you play as a bunch of hunters that are in charge of solving monster-related mysteries, very similar to like Fringe or Supernatural or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, those kinds of TV shows. So it's an RPG system based off that. It'll be myself and a bunch of really cool folks from New Zealand ripping that, and there might be some cool, fun things that you can help contribute as part of that stream as well. So keep an eye out for that, 29th of June, on this channel. So if you want to come back for that, feel free to hit follow now and you will get notified when that pops up. But yeah, it should be really cool. I've started getting some plans together. It's very fun. I can tell you, I think I can give you a little preview in that Monster of the Week itself, part of why it's in Kiwi RPG Week streams, is that it's a New Zealand-made game by the wonderful Michael Sands. It's a fantastic game. And for Kiwi RPG stream, we are going to be playing it in a New Zealand context as well. These will be a monster mystery that is taking place in our own Aotearoa backyard, with some very fun New Zealand specifics that I'm very looking forward to. Just to tease that out there a little bit, just to get your appetite going. But yeah, so feel free to come back for that as well. Feel free to come back this weekend. Or if you can't make it this weekend, feel free to come back next Tuesday, where we will be doing more of these RPGs, and it's also my birthday. So, you know, if you want to be nice and come hang out, you're welcome to. But yes, that's it for this evening. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I hope you've had a great time. I'm very looking forward to getting back to all of this. So, birthday stream! I'm very much looking forward to getting back to this on the weekend. So hopefully I will see you there. Yeah, and I'm glad you're having fun, and it's wonderful to have you along for the ride. All the best with whatever else you are getting up to with your week, and I shall see you next time. Bye!